Hey everybody. Sorry about all that. Few minutes late, 2 minutes late. That's not too bad. I'm so excited. I have to give a big, huge thank you and a shout out to Big Dog Forge, Mr. Tim over there. He is what made this all possible. Between him and Roy, I've got the setup to put on an awesome show for you guys. And as a special surprise to you guys, you can barely hear me, turn your volume up. I've got a special surprise for you guys, and I hope you guys are ready. Here we go. Here we go. So, what's up, Tim? How you been, brother? I'm fantastic. I miss you. I think everybody here misses you. Yeah, of course. Anytime you want to be on the Sunday show, if you have a moment, I mean, this is your show. You know, I'm really just a glorified figurehead for you. So, no sound from Tim? Oh, no. I know what it is. Here we go. All right. Go ahead, try talking again. Oh, come on now.
I'm messing with you.
All right. That's right. The reason that happened, reason that happened was because in the shop, I don't have the ability to have a headphone in, so I play it through the speakers and mute the NDI source. Okay. Okay. And here we go. I do need to adjust my ISO real quick. Yeah. Bring that up so that people can see me. All right. Howdy. All right. I just want to say hi to, run through the chat and say hi to everybody who's here. So many people. I didn't get a chance to say hello to everybody. So I'm going to scroll to the top. Aimless, hello. Sam, how you doing? Aaron, I'm just going to start naming names. West Falls, Aaron, Russ, here we go. West Falls, I already said West Falls. Hello, everybody. Dog Bones. Actually, I got a, Tim, I don't know if you got it from Dog Bone, but I got a dog bone knife of my very own.
I actually did some time ago. I got one from, it was really cool. Little blade, awesome. Yep, it looks pretty much like that. Not quite as shiny, but I'm telling you, it's, yeah, I love that thing. I use it in the shop all the time. Matter of fact, a little shout out to Dogbone. He sent me some mirrors for my truck and some marker lights.
Nice.
And my little Toyota. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's awesome stuff. And I wanted to say thanks to Dogbone for that. I never got to thank him properly. So.
Yeah. I apologize now if I miss, saying hello to you, saying your name. I took a minute to set everything up here, and so I know you guys are all here. I've been reading your comments. Jeff, Kren, Mule Kick, Boar, Sister Monica, Ivy, Neil, Curtis, James Jones from Butte, Montana, Black Hand Forge, Hans, I believe I saw John Coffey, I'm not sure. White Northson, Joel, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a long time coming for this live stream, Tim. it's been a long time coming.
Well, I'm glad it finally worked out. Yeah, and hopefully we can do a lot more of these. This is it's a good thing. I like this,
especially with the current situation, being able to interact as a team with the viewers and the audience, and as you know, Tim, and as you guys know, that is one of the things that I love, and one of the main reasons that I do live streams is because I love that audience interaction, that audience participation. I want to try using this new setup to set up audience participation things where, you know, I have like a whole bunch of outlets in the back that are controlled by, you know, triggers in the chat, you know, that go off and do things, turn a motor on, turn a, you know, like Roy's flux cannon idea, rings a bell or this or that, you know, a little mechanical, you know, give the audience participation in the show. Tim just got real small. Oh no, that's not me. Oh yeah, he's back. I think he's playing.
Am I back?
You're back.
Oh no, I can't do anything there. So
weird.
Not interactive with your screen at all.
That's weird.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind being small. I'm good.
Yeah. But just taking a moment to refine. You know, I kind of like how the logos are a bit above, and I'm doing this here where the logos kind of overlap our videos. Let's see if that, you know, what people think of that. Hey, Roy. Mark Newsom. Sorry, I'm not saying hello to everybody. Ignis, Shane, White Ford, or White North Ford.
Roy, how you doing, buddy?
Crawford, Dylan. Hey guys, go to all your places of sharing and let people know to come say hello to Tim, that he's finally back live again. You know, waiting for all of you guys to run up and scratch him in the chin. So come on with it.
Gotcha. Oh,
Alex, I didn't miss you.
that.
I apologize. Hello, good morning, Alex. How are you doing? Dana, how you doing? Gotta head to church. You're at church, Ivy. Roy, one of these days we'll have to get you over here.
Ignis Metalworks BRB. Got to put on pants.
No, you don't. This is the internet. Do you think me and Tim are wearing pants? This is
dressed from the waist up, buddy.
He's got special pair of bib overalls that, you know, makes it look like he's wearing overalls, but it's really just cut off at the belly.
That's exactly right.
This is fun. Yes. Smoosh that like button. Like that smoosh button. Thank you very much. A $5 super chat from Jeff Kren. And highly appreciated, brother.
Oh, Jeff. That's awesome.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Give that man a line of applause.
Shane Leonard, Tim's beard is just a bit longer than my goatee. Than your goatee, huh?
Yeah, see, I you know, if we may take a moment and you know, some people wear pants, Michael. It's weird. If we may take a moment to talk beards, I believe, Tim, that I've researched it because I see all you guys with your glorious, you know, overflowing ZZ Top-ish beards, and I've got this thing that just, you know, barely goes down. I'm like, why ain't this thing growing? It's like it reaches like 6 months and stops. And there is something called terminal beard growth, and it is the maximum length that your DNA will allow your beard to grow. And it's horrible. I have beard envy, and it's sad, and I cry every time I see like Tim or any of them, you know, like Steve Schleicher, you know, over at North Country Forge.
Steve's got a massive
beard.
shit.
You know, he shaved it off a year ago, and it's already he could probably lift it up and crush a squirrel with it. Thank you very much, Mr.
And it's
Jones.
perfectly shaped, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pantalones, Russ. Britches, whatever you want to call them, you know.
So I wanted to let everybody know that chat for me is over there. and you guys are over here. So if I'm looking sideways and you're seeing my good side, that's why. So
Yeah. See, I got set up. I got the dual like Tim does. I have the two um, monitor set up. I've got the chat up here, you know, the transition monitor, the live monitor, and then the YouTube feed. So,
right on, right on.
yeah,
So, what's everybody up to out there these days? What's going on in the world? I've been spending so much time working. I haven't
yeah.
been paying a whole lot of attention to anything. I've been reading the comments on my YouTube channel and answering a couple of those, and that's about it. I haven't seen anybody. Haven't. What's going
Yeah,
on?
Tim. Yeah, take it away, Tim. You all heard that? Tim wants to know what's going on in your worlds.
James Jones, Tim, all your sides are good. I don't know about that. I got a pretty nasty side, but you know, we all do.
Right, Bryson?
Oh,
I think adding Roy to this Skype call would be just way too much awesome.
let's see. Let's look into the crystal ball and see what it
Wayne.
says.
Morning, James. It's Little Bew. Tell your dad to get over here.
Hey, video games. John Coffey.
There's Coffee. How you doing, brother?
I
Been trying to get the forge finished. Work has been taking up most of my time lately. Jeff, I cannot wait to see what you can create. I don't know, Tim, if you know this. I didn't really advertise this because, you know, it was just something nice that I wanted to do for somebody who's been such an awesome subscriber, such an awesome member of the community. You know, he's there to help everybody out. Well, not, he's there supporting YouTubers. He's watching. He tosses super chats. He's Patreons. You know, he's a real, you know, awesome member. And Jeff Kren, I thought he had been a blacksmith for a while and just was digging my streams. But you know, he just he's working on building his forge, and he won the Damascus Karambit, and so yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's the one that won the Damascus Karambit, and I slipped in there a Flutegon, one of my Flutegon rounding hammers for his first hammer, because I believe he was asking me
Oh,
for
cool.
you know, a cheap hammer recommendation, and well, for a cheap hammer recommendation, Vaughn or Nordic Forge are about $30, $30 to $50.
Okay.
But yeah, so it looks like I missed a $10 super chat coming in from Roy at Christ Center Ironworks. Love this
Yes,
stream.
you
Thank
did.
you for the hard work to put it together. Let's all show some love. Thank you, thank you. I honestly couldn't have done it without you and Tim. You two both have been instrumental in bringing me up to where I am technology-wise and on the YouTube side of things. Not to mention watching you guys and learning, you know, how to blacksmith things.
I think you're doing pretty good on that one on your own, but thank you very much, and I know Roy thanks you. I miss you, Roy, buddy. I miss you. Uncle Buck's Forge.
Hey, Uncle Buck.
Hey, Uncle Buck,
How
how
you
you
doing?
doing? Good to see ya.
That I just got a message from Curtis saying my mic is clipping. I noticed that on the playback. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea how to stop it, and that is something that I'm going to be speaking with Tim and Roy about. You know, and trying to figure out what the deal is with that. It's almost like every 8 seconds it goes and misses half a word. But all audio shows good on my
I
side.
thought it was just
Yeah,
you.
maybe I was doing that on purpose.
I thought you were, yeah, just messing with
No.
me because I'm old.
Yeah, so it's like it's just a little audio glitch that I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if it's because I have the mic plugged into the camera and it's just running a feed through loop or something. I don't know technology terms like that. But I tried plugging it into this mic into my PC, and it wasn't quite working. So I will look into getting a better quality studio mic. That might solve the problem.
Yeah, maybe. I think that if you go to your PC and you go to your sound settings, you'll probably find that you can adjust your sound settings and make it sound a little better through your PC. If you got it plugged into the camera, you're using OBS, you're probably not getting any sound adjustment at all.
Right.
So it might be helpful. Right. I don't know. You find yourself a teenager somewhere that knows something and ask them.
Right. Right.
They know more 100 times more than I do.
I've got excuse me. Yeah, there's the getting this all started with the card you sent and the tips that I've been getting from Roy and Jess and you spending that, a couple hours last week, helping me out, was excellent for getting me, up and running. However, there are still several finer tuning things that I need to learn and work on. I'm going to be watching tutorials. Again, like I said yesterday, it's the main reason I haven't released any videos this week. I hope today, after this, I know last week I said it, but I didn't get a chance to. I, picked up all sorts of metal. But this week I hope to actually start construction of at least the frame of my power hammer. And I'm going to get some video of that, and I'll try and edit it out for at least one video this week.
That'll be cool. Aimless Adventure just sent you a $10 super chat. Say thanks.
Thank you, Aimless. Everybody give that man a line of applause. I love you. All right. Elo, how's it going?
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
Duncan's
here. Oh, hey,
Mr. James. How you doing, buddy?
I'm going to let Tim talk. I have a tendency to steamroll.
I don't need to talk. No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm going to just butt in whenever I feel like it. So
let's have fun with it.
Oh, Wolf, good morning to you. How you doing? And I got 40 points, 70 more to go. Oh, I missed something there, Roy. Sorry about that. Handyman Ironworks, good morning to you. How you doing? A lot of you guys I haven't been able to say hello to in a while, actually. Dana, how are you? So, I heard you last night on your live stream. Good live stream, by the way, for the time that I could be there. You were talking about putting together a show with Hans and a couple of other folks.
And
talk about that a little bit. Let me know what that's about.
And you obviously, I remember I spoke with you a while back on it, doing something like this, what we're doing here. Looks like we've got 100 NOK from Baird Casperson. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Wow.
Hey Bob, how you doing? This actually is, if Hans and Bob are here, what we were talking about last night during the stream. This is more of a it's going to be a kind of different channel. We're going to be setting up a Quad Squad podcast, and it's going to be like a video podcast, and we're going to look into taking the audio and actually uploading it as a podcast. So people can listen to it while they're working or driving or whatever without having to run YouTube. But using a similar format here where we have, on the screen, me, Hans, Bob, and then a guest. We'll be talking about videos, blacksmithing, general life stuff. We're in the very pre-planning stages of it, and I actually have a link for the Quad Squad YouTube channel. If you give me a moment to pull it up here. Go ahead, take it away, Tim. Entertain the folks.
I'm reading all these comments over here, and there's folks, again, Oddwood Forge, how you doing? Coffee, John Coffee. I recognized you earlier, but I didn't get to say hi, buddy. Miss you, man. hopefully we're going to be able to see you again this year if things settle down. That would be awesome. Handyman Ironworks, how's it going? Ting, you're there. Hello, Ting. Hello. I think I said hi to Dana. I'm not sure. There's so many folks. So many folks. It's awesome. This is one of the coolest things that you and I have done together. Yamez. We've
Right. This is awesome. I know we're working on that secret Damascus project, but
Uh-oh. Did you just let the cat out of the bag?
a couple people know about it. I'm sorry.
No. It's good. It's good. It's fine. I don't. You can talk all you want about that. It's no big deal.
Well, I still have to edit it. I have.
Right on. Well, yeah. I need to get on my half. I'm working on another project at the moment that's quite involved, and I need to get past that so I can jump on our project together. And then I've had a few folks ask me about tongs, building tongs again, and I'm going to start doing that.
Right.
Something to keep myself occupied, keep myself busy, that kind of thing. It's I got a lot of projects to do, a lot of things coming up, a lot of things going on, but sometimes you just need something that's a little bit brain dead. You know what I mean? Just something you can zone out and just do without thinking too much about it.
Right. Absolutely.
Anyway, dude, you were bringing something up, but I don't see it. What are you working on?
I'm trying to find the Quad Squad. The Quad Squad YouTube that I have set up. I haven't released any videos, so it's kind of hard to find.
Okay.
And I was just going to bring it up and link it. It's in there somewhere. I put in Quad Squad, and it keeps bringing up this family guard Quad Squad. So,
Oh no.
That's not what it is that I'm trying to find and link and show you guys. It's like it's a family of quadruplets, and they're using their kids to make money on YouTube.
Well, it used to be children were basically free labor. Now they're
they're protected.
Free. Exactly. So you have to take pictures of them and hope that makes you
right. Anyway, actually, what I'll just say right now is in the I'm gonna find the link later and start putting in the updated descriptions of my videos. So keep an eye out on the descriptions of my videos for a link to the Quad Squad YouTube channel. Until it actually starts making putting videos out, it'll be really, really difficult to find. So. Yeah. But
I'm doing a little search myself here real quick.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, I was hoping to bring it up and show a little, blurb here. What did I miss in the chat? Everybody was talking. Anyway, the point of the podcast vlogcast is more along the lines of just sit down and talk and community-oriented conversation between blacksmiths. I will be trying to put up a link, Curtis. I'll get you guys that information. It's a project that we are going to be testing out and working the kinks out of, and kind of figuring out a good format and this and that. And yeah, but it's not an immediate. We're not doing this right this split second. But it is going to start. And Tim, we'd love to have you on the show, and Roy, of course, and John, whoever. I know last night in my stream, Joey Vandersteeg, was it? Joey and John Switzer, both. I think I caught them expressing interest, but I'm sure if I were to ask them, they would have no problems, sitting down and suffering through some interviews from somebody who can't stop talking.
No, it's. I think that it would be a really good venue for folks to be able to, younger blacksmiths to ask questions of experienced blacksmiths, stuff like that. And I think that it would be profitable.
Yeah.
I don't know, even profitable. It would be a good thing for folks to be able to share information like that, ask
Right.
questions of folks that they don't normally see in a venue like this. So anyway, it looks like you got another super chat from Christ-Centered Ironworks.
Thank you.
Gotta go.
Thank you.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, it says we gotta go plant some more trees. 40 down, 70 to go. Love you. Catch you all on the next one. Hearts and health, Roy. Hearts and health. Thank you very much. I'm gonna change that to red and see if that does anything for you. Got a lot of sunlight today. Thank you.
Take care, Roy. Good seeing you, buddy.
I have not come across the Kosira series. I've got a handful of blacksmithing books, but that is not one of them. Uh-oh. 43 viewers and 27 likes. I believe somebody...
Curtis Lee. Uh-oh, somebody needs to smoosh a like button?
I think so.
I think so. Curtis Lee, how is the retirement plan going? Any dates? Yes, as a matter of fact. It should be. The Social Security Administration decides when you're going to retire. You've got a date, you get old, and then you're like, I'm going to retire. And they're like, no, you have to work until this date, and then you get to retire. So it's old plus a couple of months. So sometime April, end of April next year, I'll be doing this full time. And I won't have to go and, punch a time clock, that kind of thing. Jim Patterson, happy Sunday to you, buddy. Good to see you.
I would like to say something about the podcast thing. I doubt that we are going to do live. I doubt we're going to do it live. It's probably going to be, like a roughly hour long and released. We may do occasional lives for the interactivity of it. However, it's going to be something that people can, download and listen to, and or sit and watch, or play in the background of their shop or something.
Right. That way you can edit out anything dumb that I say.
Right. Well, I hope to not have to do much editing to it. It's like, because as you see in a lot of my videos, I really prefer to do one-shot takes where I'm not a fan of jump cuts in the middle of speaking, because in my opinion, it pulls a bit of heart out of what you're saying. Hey, what's up, Solbert? Jim Patterson? How you doing?
Sully, how's it going? Hans, did I say hello to you, Hans? I don't know if I did. I'm getting old, I forget stuff a lot. That's why I have Yamez, he reminds me.
You're welcome, Tim.
Tim, breathe. Buddy.
Curtis Lee, Yamez, what is your daytime job? I am an electrician by day, and by afternoon, I am a YouTuber and a blacksmith. I am doing everything I can to rise equally in both of those, because one day I hope to transition and set my electrical stuff is kind of a part-time. I have several great customers that we do consistent work for, and I'd like to basically, when they need something, I go over and do it, but primarily in shop, Yeah, man. Hey, Oddwood, how you doing? I don't think I said hi to you. Hey, Chewy, what up?
It does happen to all of us, Chewy.
Uh-oh. I'll call you back. That was my Doctor Who ringtone.
Oh, it scared me. I thought the TARDIS was going to show up and hold me up.
TARDIS is coming.
May not be a bad thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Oh, if Doctor Who would show up, he'd have to like keep me out of the freaking TARDIS.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Wow, this is. I just started looking at the screen where they've got you. I've kind of been ignoring our pictures here and kind of doing the audio thing, and I just looked at this screen. I love the way you got this, your palm tree and the Big Dog Forge logo side by side at the bottom there. That is really cool. You're just getting on board with all this techno stuff, man.
Oh yeah. And I urge whoever is intending or would like to be like ultimately for interviewees and such, email me your logo so that I can do something similar. I mean, obviously, it's not quite an open invitation for that. I hope to be able to have as many people as possible run through the show with me, but there, does have to be kind of that interactivity. I don't know. It's
right.
I'd love to do like kind of a how are you in the community kind of thing.
Right.
But this is the very beginning stages of a whole new chapter in Island Metal Forge. So it's I don't have any guidelines. I'm literally winging all of this. Yeah.
It's okay. Make it up as you go along. That's the way you got to learn. I wanted to say hello to Speargrass Forge. How you doing? I just started following you yesterday on Instagram. So if
sorry,
if you no, you're fine. So if I've been doing Instagram lately, and I put up a few little things there. So if you guys want to check that out, that's cool too.
Spilled Donut, it would be great to have you on the show. If you guys think I have a fantastic, eloquent speaking voice, you have to sit down and chat with Sprinkled Donut Forge. That man's, I could sit and listen to him talk for hours. Awesome look on the screen, Yamez. Awesome look on the screen. Thank you, Wayne. And Ting, once you really get that system down, editing really kind of only takes maybe an hour, 2 at tops. The real length of putting up YouTube videos is the rendering, processing, and uploading aspect of it. But I do, coming from me, I have a style that I put in my videos, so when I'm going through the color corrections and the transitions and this and that, it's like I have an outline format that I follow, and it makes it much easier than trying to create something brand new with every single video.
See, and I have just the opposite experience. I don't have that formula, and everything I do is a little bit different. So I kind of follow, because I do machinery and I build things, and I'm kind of a maker in a lot of respects, and it's a little different. But the uploading and the rendering for me is it takes like 30 minutes. I can render a 1 hour video in about 20 minutes, and uploads for me are about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is not a big deal. So, but yeah, putting it together and the cuts and the transitions and lighting, that's a pain in the butt for me. I got to be honest with you. I can never seem to get it right, and I have to work on it for 4 hours or more.
With DaVinci, what I can select all clips in the timeline, and then select, as most of you guys know from my videos, my very favorite transition is the crossfade, where one image fades out as the other fades in, and
Right.
I have that set to be a quick crossfade, like I think it's a 0.5 second crossfade, and that
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I do, and it puts a flow. I mean, I'm not editing a movie, so I don't need to, jump cut left and right and, this, that, and, all of a sudden I'm camera 2, and all of a sudden I'm camera 3, and you know, I'm putting together basically montages of the work that I do.
Right, right. And at some point it turns into a sort of a movie production almost.
Right.
And it's just, I don't get paid that much to produce a movie every time.
Occasionally I'll come across a video that I'm doing that I really like to experiment with. My last edited video where I did Riveted Triangle, and I took, I'm like, I think this will look really cool, and I set the camera angle right up close to the anvil, and then took a piece of pine bark and put it down there with a little bit of citronella oil, and then set the hot triangle down on top of it, and the flames cover it, and that
Yeah.
and when I can get a chance in a video to do something like that, that's where I really kind of play with those creative B-roll scenes,
Right, right.
Well, Ignis apparently is a voice actor, but as interesting as a soap dish. Well, I seen a soap dish from that they were advertising online that looked pretty dang cool. It was made of cedar, and it was like cross-cut pieces of cedar. And so there are some interesting soap dishes out there, Ignis. Estelle, your sister's here, Tim.
Hey, sis. How you doing, girl? Miss ya. Haven't been able to see her in a while. She closed her shop for a while because of the whole COVID thing. I think you guys are back open. Sandy just told me yesterday that you need some stuff down at the shop. So I will be down to see you soon. Probably going to be a couple of days. I'll stop by after work if that's cool. So you let me know. Anyway.
A lot of coffee.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, I'm sitting here jonesing for a cup of coffee. You know what the good part about this is? You're the host. You have to stay there. I can go get coffee.
Actually, I got a pause screen. Ian Lowe, what type?
Oh, no.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Gordon Farm, how's it going? Ian Lowe asked, what style of videography do you like the most from the YouTube Blacksmiths? He's asking me, but I think, it's a good question for both of us. Honestly, I really like Torbjorn
Yes.
Armand.
Yes. Yes. I would agree with that. I think Joey Vanderstig's put out some pretty good videos that are filmed pretty well. He's a little more rough around the edges, but I can appreciate that because there's more that goes into the smithing aspect rather than the stunning visual effect aspect. But yeah, I agree. Torbjorn. I used to, but he hasn't been around in a while. Rowan Taylor used to put together some really good stuff.
My reasoning for Torbjorn is because talking about the creative side of cinematography, and he's got this beautiful landscape that he can work with.
Yes.
And
yep.
And he uses all of that to his advantage. I have the ability to do that. I have that creative mindset. And the area that I live in has some beautiful areas. I'm just not, it's a matter of time for me to take my stuff and run down to the beach. It's a 45-minute drive. Like, I live half a block away from the water, but that's somebody else's property, to get to the beach proper, I have to go all the way down, cross the bridge, and then get onto the beach. So, and then there's the swamp, and then farm fields.
Yeah, I don't.
Morning, Dan.
I don't know. It's one of those things where you're right. Time plays a factor, and you got so much time to get video of what you're doing and put that together. I have really no idea, to be honest with you, how Torbjorn can gather the time to do everything that he does, and it's so clean.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy. I don't. Maybe it's just he cleans behind the camera every time he does a shot. I don't know, but it's everything he does is meticulous, and his camera work and all that background stuff, and like you were talking about the water and the trees and all that. And the thing about it is he does it so well. It's all so clean and so put together that it instills an air of confidence in you about his style and his ability in not only smithing but just about everything he does. Watched him build his wood shop, and it went seamless for him. And I know that's not the case.
Exactly.
I mean, it's never the case. You're going to do something, you're going to do a take 3 or 4 times, right? Because at least it happens that way for me.
Noah.
Sometimes I have to redo something 2 or 3 times.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, it's one of those things that he does have a real good sense of balance between the sort of the cinematography and the technical aspects of blacksmithing, which is kind of cool.
Right. Now, I will say, from the artistic side, it would be Torbjorn. From the technical side of watching a blacksmithing video, it would have to be a straight tie from John Switzer over at Black Bear Forge and Roy, because, and you, Tim, actually, you do this also, because they do a similar setup to what I do, where they'll have their when they're talking, well, Tim, you do the voiceovers. I feel very uncomfortable doing voiceovers for some reason. But they'll do their full shop clip, and then they'll have their close-ups. And Roy has the multicam setup where he can have like multiple angles while he's working on something. So you're trying to learn,
right.
You can really see all of that, going on. So, and I believe John has 6 cameras that he has set up throughout his shop to catch different angles and different machinery that he's working on. And it makes for a very streamlined learning experience.
Right.
Tim, I love your shots of the power hammer, and when you're using machine, you get like that perfect angle, aesthetically pleasing angles that you can watch and see what's happening to the metal. You can see it move, and I try to emulate that from all 3 of you guys, on the technical side of things.
Yeah, I'll have to say that, sorry about the camera move there a minute ago. So I have to say that Roy and John have that down.
Yeah.
And I try to emulate them. I try to sort of emulate a lot of folks online. I don't really know what I'm doing, and honestly, I actually have 2 cameras, but one of them's kind of sucky. I lost a bunch of footage from it yesterday, but I use just a JVC camcorder. I've got one, and it zooms in and it zooms out, and it's not a great thing, and it's like 8 years old. And I do the best I can with it, but that goes to show you that, I mean, I can put out a video that's interesting and some of them are okay, but the thing is that you can do YouTube with very little, and I've had to do with very little. I've got a unique situation in that area where I allow myself, because of family and life reasons, to spend a whole bunch of money on technology.
Right.
So I kind of build it from the ground up, find used equipment, that kind of thing. But you can do that. You can make a decent YouTube video, and I think my YouTube videos are decent. I mean, they're not at the John Switzer level,
right,
by any means, as far as the cinematography and the lighting and all that stuff. But he's lucky; he's already retired. He can throw his whole body behind it. I can't do that yet.
The amount that he puts into this is astounding. I'd like to say real quick, Noah, I have not received a message from you on Facebook. I kind of want to go back and hit some of these comments that have been coming in. I feel like I've been ignoring you guys. I'm not. I'm reading the comments. I am.
Oh, I'm completely ignoring him. This is your show. I'm just.
Yeah. Uncle Buck's left. Hearts. Joey does awesome camera work, and apparently Torbjorn has a camera guy. He has to. LOL. I don't know. Good morning, Noah. How are you doing? I missed.
I want to say real quick hello to Gordon Farmer. I just didn't mean to interrupt. Just wanted to say good morning to Gordon.
Good morning, Gordon. He says I can use the webcam to get the shots. The trouble with that, my webcam that I was using for the secondary shot for the show last night, it's horrible quality. It's low FPS, and minimal ability to work with fixing the image up post-processing. So it's very difficult to use that camera to bring it to the quality standards that I'm trying to achieve for my videos. Where I'll start having with multiple cams is when I get a secondary camera. And that'll be down the line. For live streams, multicam is great. For edited videos, I have every ability to move the camera to where I want it. Good night, Speargrass. Happy early birthday, Jim. And
happy birthday, Jim.
Early birthday.
62 tomorrow.
62 tomorrow? Nice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man. Yeah. Ooh, should we sing him a happy birthday song? Oh, sorry, Jim Patterson. Because you're my brother, I love you. This is for you. I do have a 360 camera, and I do think I can live stream. I'll have to test that. All right, this one's for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jim Patterson. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
To you.
Oh, we could have planned that there better.
Oh, that yeah, right.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh, man, I'm having so much fun.
I'm
with
so
this.
glad you were able to make it today, Tim.
I really appreciate you having me on the show today.
I really
man.
appreciate you being on the show, and I think everybody here is just ecstatic to see you back on their Sunday morning screens. So it's like this is an awesome occurrence, and none of this would this Sunday gathering would be lost without you. You know, you started this Sunday gathering for 3 years and built it up, and when you weren't able to for your reasons, it's like you helped me put myself in a position to take over for you. And like I maintain, this is not my show. This is your show. I'm just hosting it.
And my thing was always, it's not my show. It's the people who watch
Right.
it. It's their show. It's their
Right.
thing, and it's a place for folks to get together, and that's really what it was always
You're
all
welcome,
about
Jim.
for me.
Yeah, it's definitely it's the people's show. And when I say mine and yours, I mean running it.
Yeah, I
You
get
know,
it.
like
I get it.
Being the man,
I'm there
being
with
the
you.
man behind the camera, the face, so to speak, the face and the fingers that run the keyboard.
Yeah, I run it a little slower than most. I'm old.
Oh, I talk too fast. I do believe, that I just got a message on Facebook. Thank you, Noah. Thank you very much. I'll have to look into all of that. He says he's been blacksmithing for 7 years, and I'm a great inspiration. Thank you. I've only been blacksmithing for a smudge over. A smudge is an official term. But I've just been blacksmithing now a smudge over 2 years. Oh man, almost 2.5 years. And I hope to have another 50 years to go in it. To be the next Yellen. That won't happen.
Yeah, so this is, I'm going to hit on this real quick only because you're talking about, how long and forging and yada yada yada. A lot of folks have asked me, why do you use a power hammer so much? Why do you use a press so much? You're doing Damascus. Why don't you do something completely by hand? Well, I can, and I would if I had, 3 weeks to lay in bed and repair myself. I'm old. And the older a blacksmith gets, the more you rely sort of on that technology out there, the mechanical ability of a machine to help you out. So for anybody that wants to know, that's why I use Scrappy the power hammer so much. It replaces my old broken arm with a thing that can do it. So, I mean, you get a lot of purists that don't want to see you use a power hammer or a press, that kind of thing. But we're all going to use a guillotine tool, top and bottom tool.
My theory on tooling, be it oxyacetylene, welders, whatever, mills, lathes, power hammers, presses, biggest, baddest, best, machinery. If you were to drop those tools in, 1,000 years ago, heck, a few hundred years ago, they would have used them. As a matter of fact, I think they've been around for about that long in one form or another. Even sure. I've seen old Chinese like double-digit freaking century, triple-digit century, plans and stuff of water wheel power hammers, and it's that has existed for centuries and centuries, and so you want to be a purist, that's well and good, but you absolutely cannot look down on another blacksmith for doing things the way they do it, when the spirit of blacksmithing is using what you have to make what you need to get a job done,
Correct. And a lot of those leaps forward and inventions and tooling and things like that were invented by these blacksmiths. An apprentice saw the way a master was doing things, and hey, I can improve on that, and brought something new to the table. So it's important to be able to grow and keep an open mind with the things that you have, because in today's world, to be a little bit competitive, you really need to have some kind of power behind you. As a matter of fact, I can go back to, again, Joey Vandersteeg. He traditional classical blacksmithing, used very few power tools of any kind. And the reason he quit his profession and does what he does now is simply because he said that he could not compete in a world where
Absolutely.
Folks are using technology.
Absolutely.
And you just can't produce enough to compete. And it was sad to see him sell all of his stuff off, but I'm glad that he's kind of come back around and he's having fun with it now. It's not a full-time profession for him now, and it's turned into something that he loves again, and that really made me happy to see that. So
right. It's a matter of on the production side of something. If you're an artisan blacksmith and your name is out there, and you have the ability to take a customer who will basically buy your time for a month-long project if you do it all by hand, and they're willing to pay you handsomely for that project to be done by hand, well and good. But if take like a tool, for example, a pair of tongs, if or a hammer or any item that can be done more efficiently using power tools, if it takes you 2 days to make an item, a day or two to make an item completely by hand, zero power involved, okay, no sanders, whatever, or you can make 10 in a day of the exact same quality, you would have to charge 10 times the price
Right, for that one hammer
than you would for the other hammer. And if you're not going to do that, somebody else will. Or if you're going to charge that, somebody's going to have the exact same hammer for a fraction of the price. Like, it's absolutely, yeah, exactly. You know, it's a production issue. You know.
Exactly.
So,
well, and it's competitive. If I can get a quality hammer for $30, I'm not going to go buy your equal hammer for $300. I mean, there is, you know, I'll say, you know what? If I could find an original hammer that was made by Yellen, I would pay $300 for it without a problem.
and a lot of that's a status thing.
That's
yeah,
different.
a lot of that. It's
Yeah, exactly.
not so much a status that's wrong. And I'll get to you. Gordon brought up a good question. I'll get to that in a moment. It's a stat. Like, say, if I want a Roy hammer, I know what Roy charges for his hammers. I can't afford that right now. But if I had the money and I really wanted a Roy hammer to say I have a Roy hammer, you know, that's when I'd pay that much. It'll probably perform as well as any other hammer. Well, most other hammers that I have. His hammers are probably much better than mine. But point being is, you know, I'm paying that much for the name, the brand, just like Nike or whatnot.
Right.
You know, Gordon was asking. He said, "Question." Let me try and find it. Question: with machinery.
I've got a question with machinery.
Can you get away with not forging Damascus and forge welding by hand, or is it wise to have a power hammer? Let me tell you, I've made several billets of Damascus. I've only ever used a power hammer on one twice. Okay, I've made quite a few billets of Damascus. One I used actually halfway through it just to draw it out. And that was all I did, is I drew it out and then got back to my home shop, cut it up, and continued working on it. Another one, which you guys will see in a video at some point, I heavily used a power hammer, but you absolutely do not need power tools of any kind to do Damascus.
That is correct. That is correct. And some of the best videos that I ever saw on that particular subject were put out by John at
Morning, Tom.
HOJ Forge.
Yeah.
Jason at HOJ Forge. He would do Damascus billets by hand, and he wanted a certain layer count, but to do, you know, start with 30 or 40 layers, he wouldn't do that. He would start with small billets that had 4 or 5 layers. He would make several of those and then forge weld all of those together.
Yeah.
And he did it all by hand. And it was, you know, phenomenal stuff. He did a great job. And, I'm kind of sad he doesn't put videos out anymore, but it's, if you want to check out how to do that by hand, HOJ Forge has got, still has his videos up, still his channel's still there, and a lot of videos on how to do that by hand. So yeah, you do not need a power hammer. The reason I use mine so much is, again, like I said, my arm and my shoulder started wearing out several years ago.
The only thing with a power hammer is speed. Everything you can do with a power hammer, you can do by hand if you can swing a hammer. I mean, excluding it was like, stiff shoulder, kind of situation. But if you think about it, all this stuff has been done for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries, and power hammers in the scheme of things are relatively new. Like, they're a couple hundred years old, I believe. But you can do it. When I make the couple of billets that I made of Damascus with the power hammer, the only thing I used the power hammer for was to draw it out. Because to me, that's the longest process. Forge welding, I do that, cold, pull out, tap it, scrape it, flux it, put it back in, get it hot, pull it up, hit it, and continue until it's forge welded, and then I'll start drawing it out. Hey, Matt.
Right.
I just wanted to really quickly say hello to a few people that came in. Jim Snodgrass, Tom, Matt Paulson. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's good to see you here. Oh, Sis had a question, actually a statement, I guess. Tim, I'm looking for a doorknob. Well, that's kind of what I do, so I could probably help you with that. That is steampunk that you can open without using your hands. Which part of your body do you want to use to open it with? Or do you want to, like Wi-Fi electrified? I can do that too. With or without a power hammer, I don't care. Right on.
Right.
I'll get with you and we'll figure it out there.
I love steampunk stuff, but talking on the creativity side, I don't have, like, a lot of people consider me very creative. Very good point, Ian.
My arm. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people consider me like very creative, and but I do have my limitations. It's like steampunk. I love steampunk, but the aesthetic of putting steampunk together, it always just looks like a jumbled mess when I try. So I don't have that. There are finer tuning of creativity that I don't have.
Sorry, I stepped away for a moment.
Yeah.
So this is something that you'll probably not see a lot of. Sorry if I interrupted. I didn't know what you were really talking about.
I was talking about my creativity limitations.
Okay. So here you go. I'm going to show you this. My sister has a collection of these darn things. Some years ago, I owned a little manufacturing. It was kind of a small, with myself and one other person, basically, and we created steampunk vapes.
Yeah.
That
I want one of those.
and it was I think I would call it TW mod, something like that. So here's one that's left over that we had kicking around for a while. I don't know if you can see that thing. Little button.
Oh, that is cool.
And it takes a couple of 18650 batteries. So it's a convertible thing. It's got all kinds of stuff going on. But anyway, this is leftover from back in the day.
I would love
smaller
one of
model. A little button there to fire it with.
I would love one of those. I've always loved the steampunk mods.
Yeah, I built I don't know, bunches and bunches and bunches of them, and I stopped building them, and they kind of turned into a collector's item, and you can find them once in a while. People put them up for auction on eBay, that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a limited number of those out there in the world nowadays.
Yeah, they're a bit hard to come by. I've looked into them and I haven't pulled the trigger on one, mainly because I have this awesome Aegis that you or that Estelle and you gifted me that I won from you guys.
That was that was Electric Avenue Vape Shop that did that. Yeah. He's awesome. But yeah, if you ever want one of those things, I got a few kicking around. I could probably clean one up or build a new one for you.
That would be awesome. I do. You guys have been on stream seeing me smoke a lot more. I do still vape. It's just not nearly as much as I used to. It's more of a matter of convenience. And I do want to get back into mainly vaping, with only an occasional, if any, cigarettes. But yeah, it's more of a convenience for these are readily accessible, and carrying around a full kit is difficult when I'm on a job site. In my shop, I vape for the most part. Do I smoke cigars? I have, but I don't regularly. I'm not a regular cigar smoker. I don't mind them. I just too busy to sit down and enjoy one. But yeah, Tim, I would be honored to rock one of those steampunks. I've always been a fan of steampunk. I watched Howl's Moving Castle when I was a child, or when I was younger, and then there's that Steam Boy or something like that. There's like a steampunk, I love that show. I love that movie. I'm a huge fan of the steampunk genre.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Actually,
very creative area.
Last night I talked about, somebody had asked me, I can't remember if it was Joey or, I can't remember who past it last night, and I apologize, but Mist was great. I played that as a kid. But what got me into blacksmithing, and I wanted to amend that, or add an addendum to that. The two major books in my life that influenced me into blacksmithing would be The Tales of the Elven Maker and Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time. The characters in those books and the way they write about blacksmithing. But another image that has always wanted me to work with, or put the mindset to work with metal would be, that typical steampunk image where you see, like the guy wearing the welding goggles and the overalls and, welding, or, like a welding hat and he's got the oxyacetylene torch going and he's standing in a barn with a big freaking, structure, and it's like, or from like video games where you got like the punky engineer chick, that can build anything, and stuff like that, and I've always loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of a draw. It pulls your brain in directions that make you want to somehow work in that genre, I guess it is, and it definitely pulls you into blacksmithing. It's a huge part of that.
Yeah, it's
so. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the steampunk is like an excellent introduction and blend for blacksmithing and engineering, combining those two fields,
Right. So anyway, I'm going to interrupt you for a half second here. We are about 10 minutes past my hour that I'm that I'm allowed to be here.
I actually got to make some calls too myself.
Yeah, I actually have to. I have to do some jobs today, so I need to get moving. But I wanted to thank you, Yamez, for having me on the show, and I wanted to say thanks everybody for watching. You guys are awesome. All the love from Big Dog Forge to you, and I'm gonna put a little plug out there. I don't know when or if or how or where, but I'm thinking about doing a bi-weekly 15-minute, maybe 30-minute long shop update live stream thing. It will not turn into this. It's simply going to be what's going on in the shop, sort of like a live blog, you might say, but it will not be scheduled. I'll let people know when I'm doing it by putting out one of those little announcements like you do so well that I've never used before. But it's just going to be impromptu and just occasionally. Yeah. So I'm thinking about that. So anyway, that's about it for me. And wanted to thanks again there, Yamez. I appreciate it.
I appreciate having you back. I appreciate, everything you've done for me. If I could have the community here, everybody give this man a line of applause. Everybody's already thanking you for coming and, saying, great show. Guys, without you guys, this wouldn't happen. So amazing to have you guys.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I've always said, this is their show. We're just here guiding the ship.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's, like I meant earlier, it's not our show, it's the, we're the man behind the camera, we're the face and the fingers on the keys.
Yep.
So, thank you guys. Highly appreciate it. I got to get to work myself. Tim, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for everything. I've said it numerous times, and I hope to have you back again as many times as you want. Whenever you have a Sunday available, you are more than welcome to be on the show. If not next week, maybe next week I'll see if I can't get somebody else here on the show with me.
You betcha. But you bet, man.
Glad to have you here.
So, yes, spread the love around, and I think this is an awesome format. I think you're doing a great job. I really appreciate you taking it to the next level here, and man, keep up the great work.
Thank you, Tim.
Keep up the great work, buddy. You betcha, man. I knew that you were the right choice to take the captain's chair there. So thank you, thank you. And I wanted to say, love you, man. I
Love you
love
too.
the community, all you guys out there. Thanks for everything. And I'm going to have to cut
All
out,
right,
guys.
I'm going to transition over and end the stream.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Take care of
everybody.
yourselves.
Bye, Tim.